I read a news story and it made me fall to the floor laughing. I'm going to try to keep myself composed while recording this, but I probably won't be successful. Senator Joe Manchin, Democrat of West Virginia, is weighing his options ahead of 2024, leaving open the possibility of a presidential bid. Manchin told NBC's Meet the Press that while he has no plans to run for West Virginia governor, a job he already held from 2005 until 2010, everything's on the table when it comes to his next political move. I haven't made a decision what I'm going to do in 2024, Manchin said. I've got 2 years ahead of me now to do the best I can for the state and for my country. The only thing I can tell you is what I will do. The hill is acting up, the site flickers and whatnot. Only thing I can tell you is what I will do is whatever I can when I make my decision, what I think is the best that I can support and represent the people of West Virginia, but also be true to this country and the Constitution of this country, he added. Democrats are staring down a difficult Senate map in 2024, and they're eager for Manchin to commit to a re-election bid. West Virginia is among the most conservative states in the country, and Republicans are eyeing Manchin's seat as a top pickup opportunity. Representative Alex Mooney has already launched a challenge to Manchin, and other high-profile West Virginia Republicans have expressed interest in the seat, including Governor Jim Justice and State Attorney General Patrick Morrisey. The possibility of a presidential run. God, this website is so awful. By Manchin would add an interesting new dynamic to the 2024 White House race. President Biden appears poised to seek a second term in office next year and is expected to make an announcement on his plans in the coming weeks. For his part, Manchin hasn't said whether he would support Biden's reelection, telling Meet the Press that the country needs a president who will unite Americans. I haven't decided anything I'm going to do until I see what the lay of the land is going to be at that time, because this country needs to unite, he said. We need to come back together. We're not coming together, and it needs to be somebody that can bring this country together. So, there's a lot to unpack here. Originally, when I found out about this, I laughed. And I laughed because, and I'm very serious when I say this, if we were to make a list of office holders, it could be a governor, senator, secretary of state, whatever, who have occupied these different positions in the last, let's say, 5 years, and rank them from in terms of their chances of becoming president to the ones who have no chance whatsoever, Manchin would be close to the bottom, roughly around someone like, John Bolton or, Pompeo, or one of those people that just complete lack of charisma, positions that are out of line, even with moderate Democrats. I mean, how do you sync Build Back Better, which is the chief proposal of the current president, which is the one that, is the leader of your party at this point, and then expect that the same voters who saw you turn down something that they supported to now vote for you in the primary against this person, since we all know Biden is most likely going to run. And what I love is that he says that, he's going to look at he has 2 years to see what lies ahead of him and to do what's best for West Virginia and the country. Well, I don't know what he's doing that supposedly, but every time I see him doing something, it's usually voting against his own party, which makes it all the more humorous that he expects or even floats the possibility of running in the primary and being successful. Now, again, when I first heard about this story, I laughed, but someone else said something. This was on Secular Talk, where it was Kyle Kulinski, and he was talking about how he wanted Manchin to run because that conservative vote can only hurt Biden. Like it can't mess with like a liberal person. And I don't think any major, progressive leaning person is going to primary Biden. But he was saying that if they did, Manchin being there would help them, because no progressive person is going to have to worry about, the most conservative Democrats siphoning off votes from them. And that was a good point that he made. So I would be completely fine with a Manchin White House bid. And in fact, it really seems like you could almost retroactively look at everything he's done to oppose Biden from the context of this isn't some, senator who's a wild card and has positions that are interesting and unique. No, this is a guy who wants to become president himself, right? And he's got this very powerful position as in being in this, barely Democratic majority Senate, and actually wants to replace the current president and hopes to undermine him so he can look ineffectual in the 4 years leading up to primarying him. That's the part that I thought was most interesting. That it's really just it makes everything he's done up to this point in terms of his opposition to various policies and proposals by Biden seem all the more nefarious and self-serving, because it's not about policy or anything that has to do with actually helping people. So I hope he does run. I hope he runs. I hope that someone progressive runs as well, and I hope Manchin gets creamed. It'll be real fun to watch. Um, President Manchin said no one ever.